Hey, good morning, Facebook viewers. Meteorologist Saylor here with a severe weather update. We've got a severe line of thunderstorms moving through. I'm going to just take a minute to make sure we're sharing this to all the appropriate pages to make sure that we're reaching the widest audience possible. So let's go ahead and try to figure this out here. Hey, there we are. So we've got a severe line of storms moving through. Meteorologist Saylor. I'm going to share this to a couple of different places. I want to make sure that I've got the live stream up to answer any questions that you may have. We've been tracking this line moving through all morning, and it has produced some damage out there. So as this storm moves through, as I've been saying the entire morning, if you missed it on ABC 21 News at 6 and at 7 this morning, make sure to stay inside as these storms move through. So let me just take a moment to share this to our appropriate pages. Like I mentioned, I want to make sure to reach the widest audience possible here. And make sure to ask any questions. I'll try to keep track of the feed along the way this morning. I'm going to give us just another minute for everybody to tune in. Okay, so good morning to you, meteorologist Saylor here in the Storm Track Weather Center. We're tracking this severe line of thunderstorms that have been moving through basically all morning, and you can see right on top of us, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. So the severe thunderstorm warning goes until 8:45. That's for parts of Noble County, southwestern DeKalb County, western Allen County, northern Huntington County, northern Wabash County, and all of Whitley County. So once again, severe thunderstorm warning for those counties that I just mentioned until 8:45 this morning. Let me go ahead and zoom in here just a little bit. I want to make sure I got the right mouse here because we've got a cacophony of keyboards and mice here at the weather pod. So I want to just make sure I'm grabbing the right stuff here. So what I've just popped up is the velocity. This gives us an idea of what those wind speeds are. Now, this is not necessarily exactly what's reaching the surface, but you see that bright red area right on top of Columbia City. That's an estimated 53 miles per hour. However, we have received reports from this storm earlier in northern Kosciuszko County that has produced wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. That's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning. Not only that, there's been some small hail reported with this storm that's moving through, and there's also been some damage. The National Weather Service office employees note numerous large tree branches and large trees were downed. The National Weather Service office is in northern Kosciuszko County and North Webster. I believe as well, they've received another report just east of Warsaw that have seen 3 large trees fall. So, as these storms move through, make sure to stay inside. Make sure we don't need you to go outside and take photos during the storms. Once everything is cleared, if you want to go outside and share any photos with us, feel free to do so. You can tweet at me, CSaylorWX. And then meteorologist Gabe Pro, he's going to be in the afternoon hours tracking some severe weather. So let's go ahead and take another look here at the looping radar. Been pretty strong basically since it came on shore from Lake Michigan. You can see lots of reds, lots of yellows, lots of oranges. And you might notice that this polygon right here, if I can find my pencil tool, the one on top of us is actually a different color than the one off to the west. The reason being is because the National Weather Service now sort of breaks things down into types. So The bright yellow ones off to the west of the viewing area, that's a severe thunderstorm warning that is just sort of base level. 60 miles per hour, that's about the threshold for severe thunderstorm warnings. And then once you start to get to what's called the considerable range, estimated 70 mile per hour wind gusts, that's sort of a different type of severe thunderstorm warning. So that's why we sort of changed our colors around to try to match that profile, because as estimated wind speeds become higher and higher, the situation becomes more serious and more serious. So that's why I'm saying to you, stay inside as these storms move through, because they've been packing a punch all the way since Lake Michigan up until where they're at right now. Like I mentioned, we've seen a couple of storm reports of trees down in northern Kosciuszko County, as well as some wind speeds estimated at ground level at 70 miles per hour or above. So I want to go ahead and read some of the comments here. Give me just a moment to pull up the Facebook page. And I apologize if I don't get to all of your comments here. We've certainly got a lot of you tuning in, and thank you very much for doing so here. Just dark and thundering in Decatur. Amber Basinger says pretty dark in Waynedale this morning. I know I saw a comment earlier about power is out in Bremen. So reports of power outages for some spots, reports of trees down. Let me see if I can't get a look at some of these other comments here. And thank you very much for bearing with me. This is still pretty new to the area, or to the ABC 21 team, so I'm still learning some of the technology here. A couple of people asking what the tornado threat is. The tornado threat is very low. I will say that. It's very low. There was one tornado warning that was issued just south of Chicago. That was earlier this morning, and maybe stand corrected, about the 6:30 time frame this morning. So I'm not anticipating any tornado warnings going up. I think the tornado threat is very low. Let's see here. Nice downpour, Shelley Kreider in Columbia City. Question mark about the Peru area. In Peru, I would not be surprised if you don't see severe thunderstorms roll through within the next, I'd estimate 20 minutes. So hopefully that answers the question for you, Amanda. See what else. Power is out in Warsaw. And yeah, reports of flickering lights. Somebody mentioned that all the weak trees already got taken down by the derecho a couple weeks ago, so they're all good. So once again, like I mentioned, stay inside as these thunderstorms roll through. The reason being is because we are seeing reports of damage from this storm from earlier when it was in northern Kosciuszko County. There have been multiple reports of trees down. There have been multiple reports of 70 mile per hour or greater wind gusts with these storms. I'm going to see if there are any more storm reports that have rolled in. Northern Whitley County in the Tri-Lakes area, the fire department is reporting a large tree down involving a power line. So that might be why some of you in northern Whitley County might have lost power. We've got that report there. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of damage reports right now. And I'm actually just hearing the thunder here at the station as these storms roll in. So, once again, severe thunderstorm warning issued for parts of Noble County, southwestern DeKalb County, all of Whitley County, western Allen County, northern Wabash County, and northern Huntington County until 8:45 this morning. I want to take one final look at the velocity here. You can see those bright reds in Columbia City, just to the east of town there. If we query that, that's an estimated velocity of 56 miles per hour. Like I mentioned, we have seen reports in northern Kosciuszko County of upwards of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I want to time this out for you, so if you're not seeing these rain showers or thunderstorms yet, you certainly know when they're going to arrive. Let me find my tool here. There we are. So we're already seeing these storms push into downtown Fort Wayne. So over the next, I'd estimate, hour or so, Auburn, about 8:17. So here in just a few minutes, they'll be right on top of you. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the storm's the leading edge isn't already on top of Auburn right now. In Decatur at about 8:30, and then at least this initial round of storms will move through into Van Wert at about 8:50 or so. So we've still got about 45 minutes or so here in Allen County to deal with these storms. And actually, the line is moving in sort of two different directions here. Show you in just a second. Part of the line, you can see, stretches all the way back to Watseka, Illinois. Part of the line is moving more easterly, and part of the line is moving more southerly. So when somebody mentioned Peru, yeah, you're not seeing severe storms right now, but I anticipate they'll move into the area within the next 20, 30 minutes, like I had mentioned. So this area, man, that's all in the bright yellow polygons, the bright yellow warnings. All of that is moving more southerly. But the stuff on top of us moving a bit more easterly. Now, the concern with the storms that are moving easterly is that we're still seeing stuff on the backside developing and moving over the same area. So while it is moving quickly, we could be concerned with some very heavy rainfall, maybe some very isolated flash flooding. I'm not going to say it's going to be the same as what we saw in northern Allen County a couple weeks ago, but it's the similar concept of these storms pop up, it rains, it moves away, but more rain and storms pop up back behind it, and it sort of moves over the same area. It's called training. So, along with the strong winds that are possible with these storms and the potential for some hail, we've seen some small hail this morning, heavy rain is possible. So if you do not have to go outside this morning, just stay inside as these storms roll through, watch them from your window, although that's not necessarily suggested, but I know some of you will still watch from your windows. And then if you need to take pictures or want to take pictures afterwards of what you were experiencing during the storms, just at least wait until you've got the all clear. I would estimate about the lunchtime that we should see the all clear of the rain. Now, the strong storms, well, I think it's going to be about an hour before those move out of the area, and then just see some very isolated storms, but a little more widespread rain. Let's go ahead and go back to the Facebook comments here. Amy Sanders says, I thought this wasn't supposed to be severe. Unfortunately, the way the atmosphere set up this morning, so warm air pushed a little bit further to the north than what we were anticipating. So that gave us the environment for warm, moist air for those thunderstorms that were moving in from Michigan that were originally supposed to mostly stay to the north of Michigan, or north of Indiana into Michigan, to then pool down into our area. So that's why we've seen that severe threat this morning, because our atmosphere was primed overnight to have these thunderstorms develop. Stacy Mansfield says, so what about Butler? Butler here in a few minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not already hearing the thunder and seeing the lightning. I can see on our radar right now in Butler that we're experiencing some heavier rainfall in the area. Clear all my lines here. Now, Butler looks to be just outside of that, just outside of that warning that's for southwestern DeKalb County. And the way the trajectory is going, that polygon is shaped, Butler might just be on the outside of any further severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued. Another question about tornadoes. I think the tornado risk is very low. There was a tornado warning issued in Chicago, south of Chicago this morning, but I think here the risk is very low. And for those of you traveling today, I know it's the weekend, you guys have places to go, things to do. Just keep an eye on the radar because we could see rain showers and storms in much of the area, whether you're traveling to the south, if you're going to Indianapolis, whether you're going to Toledo, whether you're going to Columbus, whatever it is, southern Indiana. We could see the chance for rain showers and thunderstorms throughout the entire day. Now, do I think the day is going to be a washout? Not by any means. I think in the afternoon we should see some dry periods. So you'll be able to get outside. Unfortunately for me, I waited too long to mow my lawn, so I'm going to have to wait a couple more days to mow my lawn because we're having such heavy rain, and actually the rain has just started, at least the heavier rain has started here at the station. A couple of people have asked about power outages. So there have been some power outages reported in, I believe, Whitley County and Kosciuszko County, and we're seeing some strong wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. So if a tree gets caught up in a power line that comes down, we could be experiencing some power outages. However, I don't expect them to be widespread, maybe very isolated in nature if it happens at all. So one more time here before I get off Facebook. We have a severe thunderstorm warning issued for parts of Allen County, for parts of Noble County, southern Noble, southwestern DeKalb, all of Whitley County, northern Huntington County, and northwest Wabash County. So places like Columbia City, Kendallville, Avila, Arcola, into Garrett, northwest into Cherubusco, Fort Wayne, Huntington, Roanoke. You're all in that severe thunderstorm warning right now that goes until 8:45 p.m. We will keep you up to date with all the latest information on our Facebook page and on our website, WPTA.com. But for now, so long.